Okay, I came to update you on the latest version of SoundSlice. This is a great website that students can use for free to learn things. So when I load the page, this is generally what it looks like. It'll look a little different depending on, like I'm on a desktop right now and I have it squared away in this shape, but it'll change dynamically as you do things. So the first thing I generally do is I'll close this left side. Actually, if it's really small, it'll look like this, and then the two arrow thingies will be somewhere, but see it's highlighted here. Maybe that's on a phone too, I'm guessing. So if you click that, it'll go away, but you can always bring it back. And just to bring it back to the original shape I had, I do write helpful information in here, but if you don't want to read it, or you're done reading it, then you can close it by getting rid of it. Click there. Now, I have the video on top, that's the default, and then the music is below. If I want, I can click this and make it appear on the side, and I can adjust the size of the video. Again, depending on what your preference is. To me, how you view it is actually very important. I'm gonna bring it back to the top because I feel like it's easier to see the music in this particular layout right now. Again, I can adjust the size of the video. So now, wherever you want to start in the music, you can click there. You can also click down here if you want to. This little introduction sometimes is longer, and that'll give you a little time to get ready. And you could click anywhere in there as well. I can hit the spacebar, or I could click play, or I could click play on the video. I'm just going to give you a taste of what happens. So I'm going to hit the spacebar. Now, that's obviously very fast. That's kind of the whole idea of this particular song, The Devil Went Down to Georgia. Number one function is the speed, which down here you can see I'm changing that. The problem, though, when you get really slow is it can sound a little weird. So I'm going to start at 100, and then I'm going to slow it down, down, down. 90, 80, 70. Now, if I go really slow, sounds a little weird. And by the way, you can say, you can give specific, I guess it doesn't go that low, but you can say I want to go 27%. And it can do that. When you get really slow, it starts to get really weird, especially, let's say there's vocals. That's really hard to do, right? So in that case, you want to go over here where it says video, synth. So right now it's on video, and if I had more than one video, that's what the arrow is for. It would come up there, but I only have one video here. I'm gonna go to synth. And now, you can actually hear the note a lot better. And you have more granular control over the tempo. So again, I can use the plus minus arrows, or I can type in a specific BPM. Right, that's an option. Now, my favorite part here, and I'm going to bring it back to the video because that's fun. Okay, so let's go back to a 50% speed. My favorite part of this, and this is a newer thing that they came out with, it's a little hidden. I wish it was a little more obvious, but under the speed or the tempo is dun, 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 speed training, the coolest feature. Gradually increase speed while looping. I guess I should show you about looping, but you can pick any section. It doesn't have to be a specific measure. It can be a set of notes. It can be any set of notes at all. You could do that. That's kind of something to practice. So I could hit the space bar. It's a little muddy, and actually you can fine tune where that goes to. I could say, well, I want it there. See, my black line is in a different spot. Now, from there, let's say I go to speed training. Initial speed, let's say 30%. Final speed, let's say you don't think you can make it up to 100%. Let's say 80%. Increase by, let's say 10% every one time. You also have the option of a count in before each loop. So let's say we activate that. So now let's see what it would sound like. Here's the space bar. Pretty cool, right? And then it stops when you've reached your thing. And a lot of times you'll want to do a few times before increasing, or maybe you want to increase it less. You know, like let's say I did this whole section and I did that, so it's already set, the whole thing that I just did. And, well, you know, I don't want to make you sit through all that, but it's great for practice. Now there are some other things that are available too, so I'm gonna get out of that. Okay. Generally, when you're looping something, I just dragged my mouse, my cursor over that. Like I clicked and dragged, and then you just click out of it. On the phone, I forget how to do it, but it's pretty simple. Or I think they have instructions right now. Okay, so back to, let's say 100% speed. We're in a little bit of a smaller view here, and so I'm going to show you what happens. You're going to lose a little bit of the left side here, but it's not a big deal. So as I pull, look at the bottom gray area. See the circle thing, the arrows? That turns into, it says loop, and so, you know, you can, if you want, you could click it that way as well. You could just do that. That was where the cursor is here, the I don't know what you call that, the orange line. Here's this other section. So the person making the sound slice can choose to have a visual representation. So here I set it for violin. I don't personally use this, but I think there are some people out there that do. So here that would be your nut, and then this is just representing your open string, So let me make this really slow so you can see it. And I'm gonna go to synth so it sounds less weird. And we have our D. E, F, right? Okay, so if that's helpful, you can choose to do that. If you don't want it, don't click on it. You can click the X. And in the smaller, more condensed version, that's represented with the little violin icon there. The metronome, very handy. So I can turn it on. I have a lot of options there. I have at every beat, so in this case 4 times per measure, or I could do only the downbeat, so which makes more sense for when it's faster. Okay, and then you can do a count-in. So that would be, I believe, 1 full measure. Let's see. Why isn't that working? Oh, it was only on for during loop. So before playback. So 3, 4. Right, so it's whatever tempo you're going at, which is good because they fixed that. Okay, so there are some options there. 1 bar. Oh yeah. Oh, cool. That's great. I didn't even know this. You could, because sometimes if something is really fast and you need a little bit more time, so you can choose how much. Has control over. They mark when the measure starts. So if it changes within the measure, it might not be perfect. If it slows down or speeds up during the measure, it may not be absolutely perfect. But you'll certainly get a good sense. There is a whole other thing that I want to show you. It's this guy right here on the bottom right. This says more settings. It's out of the screen. And this, to me, is actually very important. So yes, you have your volume control. You have notate. Like, I guess this should show you the lyrics. That's pretty cool. I didn't think about that because I always use notation. But you can hide the notation. You can hide the lyrics, which this isn't programmed in as lyrics. Oh, these are programmed as lyrics right there. Johnny, hide, just want the notes. Sometimes there's fingering placed in there, programmed in as fingering. I don't think I have that in there right now. But if you did, you could hide that fingering, which is really handy for other slices I have. Zoom level. This, honestly, is the #1 thing I think is important here because depending on, if you're reading the music while you're playing, this is really, really big. So, zoom, zoom, zoom. But obviously it's out of screen right now. That's not super helpful. Yeah, you can't even see it now. See, it's out of view, but very, very, very easy fix. Okay. So what I'm going to do in that case is I'm going to go to Respect Author's Stave Breaks and uncheck that. And now, oh, wait, there's something else I must do. Page, that's what it is. Okay, paged means it's going to reset it for your screen. Okay, and then let's see if I go... I spent a lot of time putting in certain line breaks to make it easy to read. So in this case, I guess it kind of lined up anyway. Okay, there's a lot of different ways to get this to your liking in terms of how you're viewing it. And you're just going to mess around with it until it makes sense for you. You can also choose to do... Oh, that's pages left to right. Oh, that's new actually. Okay, so scroll, you can choose to do horizontal notation. It looks like this. Oops. Hit spacebar and it unchecked it. So I'm going to get this out of there. You see it's going to go over here and just keep going in a straight line forever. That's an option. I don't personally prefer that, but it's definitely proportional. Proportional notation. You can change what that looks like. A lot of settings here. Transposition, obviously, well, not obviously, but you can change the key, but so the audio from this video will not change. I guess that could be a feature that could be offered in the future. I don't know if that's a requested feature. And so if I hit transpose original key F, it'll change the music, right? But the video is the same. But if I go to synth, it of course will change it because it's a MIDI, right? So that was the sound of that. And then back to the original. Okay. I don't know why I spend so much time on that. That is not my students, my violin students are not really going to use that. Okay, playhead style, you got your colors, you can look different ways. I think that's very nice of them to give you that. You can, and if you're trying to get better at something, you can hide it so that you don't rely as much on it, right? A lot of options there. It's really nice of them. You can do that. A lot of great things here. I love this website so much. You can change the sound. So let's say I made a sound slice so that I didn't go in and make a specific sound and you want it to sound like violin, or you don't. Maybe you want this just a simple little piano note. You can change that to whatever you like. And you have control over that. So right now we're in the horizontal mode, right? And I don't want to be in that. So I'm going to go to layout, not horizontal. And oh, this is great. Stave width. So you can really change what you're seeing here. Fit to screen. That's great. This is actually a pretty good size for me, so I'm going to stick with that. And I'm going to show you what expand repeats looks like. So here there is a repeat. Okay, so there you have it. I hope that helps. I hope I've covered everything. I really think I've covered everything in here, which makes this a long video, and I'm sorry about that. But if you have any questions, let me know. Thanks for watching.